Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the dead ball specialists are back. We, of course, waited, I think, a couple of weeks, sort of. You, in the meantime, 3 weeks, right? In the meantime, you were at least kind enough to post a video before the derby, and God knows how that ended. But having said that, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sammy. I am back in my crib, as you can see. Finally, after going on an India tour, it feels good to be back home. And someone who also makes me always feel at home is my brother Saurav Ganguly, joining us from his usual crib in Delhi today. Saurav, let's lose some points, baby.
Right, Sammy, one of the big news that is now coming out of the Premier League right now is the fact that Everton, if you remember back in November, the PSR rules or the profit and sustainability rules, जिसके वजह से Everton was found to be guilty by breaching them in the 21 or 2021 season, so because of which they were docked about 10 points. And Everton, right after when the verdict was brought out, about 2 weeks after, then they had filed for, a redressal of this issue. And then recently, the verdict that has come out is that the 10-point reduction of their, you could say, the points tally is now being reduced to 6. So that's going to have huge implications right in the drop zone. If you remember, Everton's had a very torrid start to the season. They've somehow managed to stabilize the ship. The fact that they are able to get those additional 4 points in their kitty right now has pushed Everton out of the relegation zone, and they're right now 15th. What I can see is they're 15th with, they're 15th. Yeah, they're 15th. They have a total points tally of 25. They've played 28 games.
So what you're saying is ये 25 पॉइंट में और 4 पॉइंट ऐड हो जाएगा.
नहीं, ये होने के बाद हुआ है. So had this not been the fact, Everton would have been lurking in the 17th position. Also, Sami, just giving a little context to this. Right now, Everton has played 28 games. Luton Town, they've played 27 games. So they have a game in hand, but their point tally is also a little lesser. They have 21 points. So the thing is, Everton is just about managed to stay out of the relegation zone, and this is huge in terms of the fact that, especially that Everton has not been relegated in the Premier League era. And had this been 10 points, you never know.
अगर ये हो गया तो मजा आ जाएगा.
अगर यार पता नहीं, मतलब like I'll tell you frankly. Oh, listen to this. Hear me out. Forget Everton right now. Think yourself as a Man United fan. You have 3 options.
Sorry, I don't need to think. I am.
No. Think from the perspective of
from the perspective of a Manchester
where
United
we are
fan.
right now.
Okay, yeah.
You have option 1.
Right. Okay.
Option 1 is allow Manchester City to do the 4-peat. Have the 4 titles जो United ने भी नहीं किया. We won 3 titles on the road.
कभी नहीं किया.
But if City wins this time around, they're going to break that record. It's going to be 4 titles on the road. Option number 2. Let Liverpool win the Premier League this time around. They'll be having 20.
I love how you're doing this.
Yeah, it's fucking balloons. I gotta stop doing this.
I'll tell you why. Okay, everyone should know this. We are actually using
we're using the iPhone camera, right.
There you go.
Oh.
So okay, I'm just gonna switch mine off. Yeah. I'm gonna switch the action.
Bloody hell, dude.
Right? But this is okay. But you know what? No, let's just keep it on, man. It's fun.
I'm gonna keep it on. It's on. I don't know how to switch it off, so I'm not gonna just.
Mine is on as well.
Option 2.
Just to check. Option 2.
Yeah, option 2.
It's not happening.
Option 2 is Liverpool winning, cumulatively having 20 titles, same as that of United. Or option 3 is let Arsenal win the Premier League title after 20 years. So this is where we are at. And Manchester United fans are here. We are having to choose the lesser of all evils. People tell me, you know what, you do not like Manchester City, or you do not like Liverpool, you do not respect Manchester City, or you do not respect Liverpool. ऐसी बात नहीं है. I just don't respect Manchester City. Now,
nahi, that is not true, Saurabh. You don't respect Liverpool either.
No,
Okay,
dude, I
I
respect
can go
Liverpool. I have
back
respect
and
for
take
Liverpool.
out.
ऐसा नहीं है, देखो
You
थोड़ी
have
बहुत
respect
यहाँ वहाँ
for
खींचातानी हो
rarely.
जाती है, that is fine. But the fact that
Acha, okay. But I think I'll go with option 3, Saurabh. I'll tell you why.
me too,
Okay.
me too.
Yeah, because Arsenal, I think they deserve to win it.
Yeah, I think so too.
The
I think so too.
comeback. Yeah. The transformation of the squad,
Yeah.
the transformation of the club
Yeah.
under their
Arteta.
new manager. Arteta. It's a fairy tale, dude. I think it's really a fairy tale,
Thumbs up
and
to
I
Arsenal.
think. हाँ, आ रहा है क्या?
Why the hell isn't?
नहीं आ रहा.
अरे लो, अभी एप्पल का भी अप्रूवल आ गया फॉर आर्सेनल. मैनचेस्टर सिटी. Yeah. So you see, it's not just me, it's Apple too. As a big, huge conglomerate,
Yeah,
as a
everyone.
platform, they do not like you.
I agree, but I think if those are the three options that you give me
Right.
as of today,
Right.
according to me, yes, Arsenal winning the Premier League is what I will choose because of just the fact that see, I am a United fan. Okay, मेरे लिए तीनों ही कमीने हैं, अगर देखा जाए तो. But हाँ, if a young team has been transformed under a young manager, I think that is a story that I would like to support as a football lover.
Yeah.
Above everything
I
else,
get
right? But sort of एक सवाल था मेरा यार, ये जो हम पॉइंट्स डॉकिंग वॉकिंग की बातें कर रहे हैं, 10 पॉइंट गए थे, अभी 6 पॉइंट गए, एटसेट्रा. कुछ सालों पहले मुझे एग्जैक्टली याद नहीं, आई थिंक राइट बिफोर द पैंडेमिक और अराउंड द पैंडेमिक देयर वाज अ डिस्कशन ऑफ द सेम थिंग हैपनिंग टू मैनचेस्टर सिटी बिकॉज ऑफ द FFP rules that they had broken. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. But Sammy, what we need to put in perspective right now here for our viewers, for everybody who's tuning in to listen to this episode of our podcast, the PSR rules are completely separate from that of the FFP rules. What the PSR rules state that profit and sustainability. So essentially, the main guiding factor behind the rules are that कि आपको लगातार 3 seasons में you cannot have a loss of more than 105 million pounds. So that is what the FFP rule is. It's very controversial, Sammy. It is very controversial. Firstly, because it is accused that a lot of the small clubs, they will never be in violation of this rule. Firstly,
exactly.
is because they cannot be able to
never
spend.
even have like a exactly 105 million turnover.
They might not be even exactly. They cannot be having that much amount of money to have a turnover. Forget कि वो they'll be able to afford this as losses. तो now अभी क्या हुआ है? As of today, I just checked it out. As of today, the rule has been undertaken that going forward from this summer onwards, the PSR rule is essentially going to be docked, and something new that is going to come in is how the UEFA actually functions. So the UEFA functions based on profit, cost, and revenue ratio. So there is a cost and revenue ratio. So essentially, say if you have a squad that is worth 700 million or 500 million, just say, in terms of player revenues, in terms of player transfers, what your amount of money, whatever amount of money that you'll be able to sort of spend in that summer transfer window or include the winter transfer window as well for the whole financial year, is going to be 85% of the same value. तो अगर आपके पास $500 million हुए हैं, you will only be able to spend around 85% of the same thing. So I just Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, man, I
okay.
just...
So my point is very simple, dude. I mean, my point is that 85% I can spend and 15% come what may I have to keep in the bank as security. If you ask me, it makes sense, man. I think at some level, it'll kind of save clubs from going bankrupt. Number one. Number two is that I think at some level there is a security, financial security for the players as well, right? It's like an organization at the end of the day.
Right.
So if I'm with an organization, I know that even if the club shuts tomorrow, I will be at least be paid my next couple of months' salary with that 15%, maybe, whatever, right? And I think it makes sense, of course, but I know for a fact that clubs like PSG, clubs like this is only for the Premier League, right?
This is for Premier League.
Only for the Premier League. So clubs like Manchester City, clubs like Newcastle, they will find ways and they will find loopholes in this and go around it
And
for
that's what
sure.
that's what has been
For sure.
happening too, Sammy. The fact that once the
Absolutely.
Everton appeal got, they've partially won it, right? Like 6 points out of
Yeah.
10. So they've gained 4 points. So right now,
Right.
okay, a lot of people might not be knowing this, but even Nottingham Forest is currently undergoing a
Hmm.
trial for this. So what is going to come out of the trial, we do not know as of now. They've also been found guilty in breach of the PSR rules. Now there is a
Okay.
lot of background chatter about people saying the fact that clubs like Everton are being given a reprieve is because they do not want to. The Premier League doesn't want to
Hmm.
show itself in a bad light by having to you can say stop Manchester City. I mean, because Manchester City are in gross violations of 115 clauses, right? 115 financial,
Of bloody everything, dude.
bloody
Everything under the sun they have violated.
right. So वो लोगों का ये कहना है, there is a lot of fan uproar about this too. I saw a brilliant interview of Ian Wright. Even Ian Wright, he
Hmm.
has come out and he said, you know what, there was a lot of debate about whether the Liverpool and Manchester City rivalry is bigger than that of Arsenal and United between 98 and 2003. And Ian Wright came out and
Right.
said, for sure, they're the best teams in the Premier League right now. But every time you take the name of Manchester City, you are always ending the sentence with, but what if? And that what if is
Correct.
completely got to do with those 115 charges that are looming wide over their heads. So that is something that the
No
Premier
one
League
seems
needs
to be
to.
doing anything about
No
it.
one
That's
wants
my
to. No
point.
one wants
Nobody
to.
seems to be
Yeah,
doing anything.
yeah.
पैसा बोलता है भाई, पैसा अपन
पैसे
को
का है,
अमीर
पैसे का
बनने का
नहीं
है.
आता क्या? There is no hand gesture for money.
हाँ.
That's
नहीं, not
right.
yet, not yet. I have to mail. I have to send an email to Tim. I'm like, भाई कुछ भी करो पैसा डालो. Right? Okay, but sort of
Yeah.
one, you're my friend. You're like yeah, you are my brother.
Nice,
You know?
nice.
But there are things that I hold against you, and there are three of them. Three
Three.
things in your entire life. Three.
बताना जरा क्या क्या है.
The first two I'm not going to talk about
अच्छा ठीक है,
on our
चलो फिर तो एक
podcast.
ही हुआ.
There's going to be a one-on-one.
फिर तो
हाँ,
एक
एक
ही
ही है,
हुआ.
ठीक है. अब वो जो एक है वो sort of मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि तेरे चक्कर में ना मेरा एक सपना रह जाएगा.
ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड जाने का.
जो सपना क्या था? ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड.
हाँ.
ठीक है. Because news coming in right now
Yes.
is that the INEOS group have announced that they are going to be building a brand new stadium
Right.
for Manchester United to play in. Now, when is that going to happen? How is that going to happen? What kind of timelines are we looking at? We don't really have any clarity on that as such. But I've known you for 20 odd years, I think.
20? Am I that old, dude? Could be 15.
तो है ही. चल ठीक है. I know you for 15 odd years, right?
Yeah.
In 15 odd years,
Right.
we clearly couldn't make it over there, right? Together. This is just a chat that has been happening over drinks.
I'll give you a
stuff.
caveat to this. Now think of it.
Go for it.
अगले 3-4 साल में एक नया स्वैंकी स्टेडियम बन गया और फिर तू वहां भी जा रहा है और तू ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड भी जा रहा है. फिर तू मुझे ये सब चीजें बोलेगा? नहीं बोलेगा ना.
बिल्कुल बोलूंगा. तू एक बात बता, तू कैसा यूनाइटेड फैन है बे? हाँ, जर्सी पहन के आया है तू?
भाई पैसे होने
जर्सी पहन के
चाहिए
आया है
जाने
जर्सी.
के लिए.
हाँ भाई, पैसा है ना. अभी तक एप्पल के पास नहीं है, पर हमारे पास है.
हमें सब बेचना
नहीं,
पड़ेगा
but
अपने
on a
एप्पल
serious
प्रोडक्ट्स
note,
और फिर सिर्फ एक वे का ही पैसा मिलेगा.
absolutely big. हाँ,
I think
हम लोग ये इकोसिस्टम के चक्कर में ना,
I think we
मुझे
should
लगता है कि हम
fundraise. I
बहुत
should
ज़्यादा
go for
पैसा
public fundraising to take us to Old Trafford. Probably not get us back. We'll get it deported back, free of cost. एक बार जाना था, देख के आ गए.
I'll pay for my ticket and come back.
I'll get deported.
You want to try that deporting?
I will try getting
Yeah, you get
deported.
Absolutely, let's do that. But yeah, we should start maybe a crowdfunding of this and see if people actually donate money for us to go and watch a match at Old Trafford before it is demolished. But sort of, I just wanted to kind of know from you, right? Do you think it's a good idea? Because I think this was long due as well. No, at some point we have spoken about this in a previous episode as well, about how the people who are paying money to go and watch are not even getting the money's worth. Except I mean, पहले क्या होता था कि चलो ठीक है छत से पानी गिर रहा है, but at least फुटबॉल तो अच्छा खेलने हो. अभी तो वो भी नहीं हो रहा है. तो I think at some level it's a total मतलब loss making proposition for anybody who's paying money to go and watch Manchester United. So what's your view on the new stadium?
Sammy, I think to sort of sum up the entire last decade of Manchester United fan, it's been really bad, right? I mean, to fall from the upper echelons of winning Champions League and then winning the Premier League, and then suddenly to just finishing 5th, 6th Champions League में तो हम कुछ कर भी नहीं रहे हैं. Forget about it. But I think this is a long pending impetus to each and every fan, to each and every player, to each and everyone associated with the club, including staff and everyone. I'll tell you why. The very first time INEOS have come in, I have only, as of now, as of today, I have only gotten positive vibes of the fact that the new co-owner or whoever minority stake owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is, at least he has some plans. Now say if you
He has a vision.
he has a vision. Say now if you say that what, I want to build a new stadium, I want to build Manchester United, a new Wembley of the North. Now look at the amount of you could say public humiliation Old Trafford has faced when they were axed as one of the stadiums where the Euros were supposed to happen. They're not gonna happen, right?
Correct.
Because the stadium is old.
Correct.
You have a stadium with a leaky roof. You have a stadium where the disabled or section
Can't
doesn't work properly. You have washrooms that are leaking. It's not great. And the fact that there
तीन
has
तल्ला पे
someone,
कोई सुसु करता है तो वो एक तल्ला में आ जाता है
कुछ
भाई.
वैसा ही है.
ऐसा है
And
अपना
then
stadium.
there is someone that who's come in and who said that what, it is important that we build it is because we want to build a new Wembley of the North, some stadium where people will bloody look up to, and I'm very glad for it. I would also personally not want to move out to not see players play in the Old Trafford Stadium, but for sure, if you have a new stadium that is coming up, and it galvanizes all the people around you. So I think it's a very good move. As Sammy, as of a couple of days back, what I read was Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the INEOS group, they have essentially he describes this as a once in a century opportunity to give United,
Which I agree with him. I mean, I think that's the best
And-
way of putting
Exactly.
it. I think he's completely nailed
exactly
it. with that.
and then he's also gone on to establish the Old Trafford Regeneration Task Force. This includes Lord Sebastian Coe. He is the chair of the London 2012 Olympics. He's also a former athlete and an MP. This also includes our former United captain Gary Neville. This also includes the mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, and the chief executive of the Trafford Council, Sarah Todd. So now, Sammy, I do not know whether you'll be able to see this, but I have a
No, just share your screen. I think I'll be able to see it. But before that, while you're doing that, sort of, I have a quick question. Has Gary Neville come on board because he also wants to build the studio of the overlap over there?
No, but I'll tell you what, Gary Neville, he is someone who has been who's dipped in his toes in a lot of businesses. Now, if you are not aware, Gary Neville is also someone who has been an owner of a hotel. I think I have it open right here with me. He's the owner of a hotel right beside the Old Trafford Stadium.
Net worth and
Right.
Gary Neville's net worth is about 100 billion. Let me read the headline once again.
It is true. See, he's listed as a director of 56 businesses.
56 businesses, my God.
Right, and he's also runs
media, hotels, pubs,
exactly, and you see in which he holds
restaurants,
a
education. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's just me reading aloud.
Yes, his most high-profile projects are the Stock Exchange Hotel in London. He also runs a residual image rights and sponsorship firm. He owns production houses, and I remember seeing
Dude,
that
this guy is killing it, man.
he
He's
does,
killing
he
it.
does. He's on.
And so, my point is that
Mm-hmm.
having somebody on board
Mm-hmm.
who's of course who knows the ethos of the club,
Yes.
who has amazing business sense, as we can clearly
Yeah.
see, either him or his team, like either way, right? I
Right.
mean, कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि यार एक बहुत well oiled machinery है, एक team है जो सब कुछ करते हैं,
Mm-hmm.
but the name, the front face becomes Gary Neville. Even if that is the case, I think I'm pretty happy with that, right? And also the fact of the matter is that overall, sort of once in a century,
Yeah.
I think this is what we need.
Yeah.
Now, where is the land owned by?
Yes.
This is
This is
good.
it.
This
This
I
is
want to
it.
see.
Yeah. So, Sammy, this is the Old Trafford Stadium. This is the
Okay, the
Wharf
one in
side.
black.
Yeah. This is the Wharf side area, and
Yeah.
now United owns around 100 to 110 acres of land around this Old Trafford. 43
Okay.
acres of the land is actually ripe for development. And then apart from this,
Okay.
another 25 acres is just lying dormant. So what the Jim Ratcliffe and the Regeneration Task Force has been assigned to do is that what they want to do is they want to regenerate the whole area. they, they're not just thinking or contemplating of building a new stadium. They're also wondering of building schools. They're thinking of building hotels. There's going to be restaurants, so it's going to be an impetus. It's going,
And
yeah.
and there's also going to be the overlap ka studio.
I don't think so. I think they've got a great studio, and I mean wherever it is.
Yeah, but Old Trafford में बैठ के record करेंगे मजा ही अलग है, ठीक है. Also, guys, in case you haven't noticed, all right, just rewind a little bit. Let's go back a little bit, and you'll see that Saurav, whenever he's explaining something, he keeps doing this, like that's his hand gesture, right? I think we all know why. Cheers.
Yes.
इसी वजह से देवी और सज्जनों मुझे रखा गया है इस पॉडकास्ट पर
रखा गया है
फुटबॉल की बातें बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. तो आपको क्या लगता है ये लड़का मेरे को क्यों झेलता है?
अरे भाई ऐसी कोई बात
भाई तू अपना बना मैं अपना.
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है सर.
पता है.
तो बट Sami, what is your take on this? Because I remember हमने एक बार TDBS पे we put out a poll and a staggering 80% people said 80% people said that yes, it is time that Manchester United builds a new stadium. Builds up. I think देख हमें करना चाहिए. I think we should build a stadium that is can have more than about 110 to 120,000 people. Salt Lake Stadium को भी फाड़ के हम बना दें इतना बड़ा स्टेडियम. चलो लोग देखते रह जाए. Tottenham Stadium is just the new Tottenham Stadium can just house about 60,000. We should at least build.
मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ कि भैया छोड़ो ये, आप उठा के लाओ अपना यूनाइटेड का टीम और खिलाओ उनको अपना
सॉल्ट लेक
स्टेडियम. हाँ,
सॉल्ट लेक स्टेडियम में
मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड वर्सेस मोहन बागान.
वो पेनल्टी तक जाएगा. वो पेनल्टी तक जाएगा.
दीपक बिल्कुल जाएगा. बट यार सवाल ये है, मतलब सवाल क्या है, मेरा पॉइंट इसमें ये है कि आई थिंक अबाउट टाइम है करना चाहिए हम लोग को. बट सिर्फ एक बिनती है भाई मेरा, ठीक है. वो लीकी स्टेडियम में 3 तला में सुसु करो तो 1 तला में गिरता है. वो मेरे को वो स्टेडियम में जाके एक बार अपना लाल जर्सी पहन के एक बार मैच देखने का है. मेरे को सिर्फ वो टनल से वॉक करके जाने का.
I know it's going to be surreal.
वो क्या ही होने वाला है यार. कभी करेंगे इसको यार ऐसे. मेरा दिल
ठीक यार, तब की तब प्राउड होना है, लेकिन अभी प्राउड होने के लिए we have enough content. Surely because of the fact. I agree.
But before that, if you guys could hear, what we just heard was an absolute embodiment of the word Delhi. Because Saurav is recording his podcast and somebody just started their bullet and went that's amazing. This happens only in Delhi, bro.
सही में यार, सही.
ये होता स्ट्रेट हो गया लड़का. बट हाँ, अगला रुको मैं तुमको बता रहा हूँ यहाँ पे हम अगला क्या डिस्कस करने वाला है, ठीक है गाइस. अगला है सौरभ का फेवरेट क्लब
नहीं है,
which happens to be
अगला पॉइंट ये है.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, मेरे को आप बोलने दोगे मेरे को प्लीज. हाँ ठीक है. ये क्या है, मैंने ऑफेंस ले लिया है तो आपके डिफेंस में, ठीक है. तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, सौरभ's फेवरेट क्लब, they wear red and they sing "You will never walk alone." All right, we're talking about the one and only Liverpool, ladies and gentlemen, and this is my time to shine. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just share my screen with you guys. If you can see my screen, sort of just say A. Give me a hiya.
Hell yeah.
No, say hiya, hiya. Give me a
Hiya,
hiya.
hiya.
Okay, so yes, Michael Edwards is making a return to Liverpool. I think about time as well. For people who do not know, Michael Edwards used to head football operations before Jurgen Klopp came in, and I think this is the time for him to also return because of the fact that uh, I think what Liverpool will go through after Jurgen Klopp leaves is what Manchester United have gone through after Sir Alex
Please do
Ferguson
not
has
take
had
both
left.
their names in the same breath, man. Please. Hold on.
Are
I
dude?
know, I know. Liverpool Klopp is great and all, but please, dude. अच्छा हाँ वैसे ठीक है like 60% of how you said it I would agree.
मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि सिचुएशन सिमिलर होने
Situation
वाला है,
similar.
क्योंकि सिचुएशन सिमिलर होने वाला है, क्योंकि क्या होता है ना, एक बंदा जब बहुत देर एक क्लब में रहता है या कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में रहता है,
Correct.
दैट पर्सन has certain ways of doing things which only work for that person. You have to understand that, right? So for example, if you're doing a podcast in a certain way, now all of a sudden you get somebody else to do this same podcast with you or with me,
That's not gonna work.
we will it's not going to work, at least for the beginning, but till the time we kind of figure out, okay, this is the chemistry between us, or
Correct.
this is how it kind of works. तेरे मेरे में क्या है, हम तो दोनों बैठ के बकचोदी
सही
कर
में
रहे हैं,
यार
ठीक है ना?
वेले लोग हैं अपन।
बट क्योंकि बचपन से यही कर रहे हैं दोनों साथ में, तो हमारा तो बहुत ही नेचुरल है ना? बट मेरा पॉइंट क्या है इसमें कि आई थिंक दिस इज A, good news, okay, and also B, I feel that थोड़ा सा डगमगा सकता है लिवरपूल. Great chance for Manchester United.
Sammy, another good point. Now that you've brought out the news about, I think it's what Michael Edwards, right?
Correct.
Michael Edwards. So yeah, I was also reading the David Ornstein tweet he's just put out, and he's a very reliable source from the Athletic. He's put out saying that Michael Edwards,
Okay.
named FSG CEO of football, resigns from Ludonautics from 1st of June and then replaces Mike Gordon in charge of Liverpool. Will appoint sporting director Hughes to recruit Klopp's successor and help identify manage a second club. I am not aware of what second club is.
Sort of. On this, right,
Right.
to get Klopp's successor, apparently Liverpool are looking at Xavi Alonso to succeed Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, I think new Arsenal in the making if Xavi Alonso comes in, bro. Right? Because I'll tell you what he's doing with Leverkusen is in the Bundesliga. It is crazy. The Bundesliga में अभी the number one team
It's
in
Bayer
terms of
Leverkusen.
standing
Yeah.
is Leverkusen.
And also the fact that Leverkusen has now gone 32 games without losing, so that's a huge feat.
Exactly.
And also imagine,
Exactly.
Sammy, imagine Xavi Alonso. He's been coached by Jose Mourinho at Madrid, coached by
Right.
what was that guy's name? That Spanish coach in Liverpool, Rafa Benitez in Liverpool.
Rafa Benitez.
Then also he's been
of
coached by
course.
Pep Guardiola at Bayern. So imagine the amount of
Right.
knowledge you've just seeped in all these years, and I think Xavi Alonso it could be a great fit at Liverpool, right?
Also,
Scary,
let me tell
very
you, of
scary.
course, you named the three of the greatest managers who have managed Xavi Alonso, and of course, he's got the kind of the managerial acumen from there. And I heard this in an interview of Jose Mourinho once. He said that Xavi Alonso's father
Was also
was a manager.
yeah.
So he said that when Xavi Alonso came to him, he already knew so much about management that it was extremely easy for him to manage him, right? And just now imagine Liverpool going into a place where they have probably one of the best youngest managers in the market.
Right.
And wait, Xavi Alonso's played for Liverpool.
He
right?
has played for Liverpool. That's what I'm saying. He's played
He has, right?
for
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Rafa
He's
Benitez, of
won
course.
with the Champions League with them with Rafa,
With Rafa,
right?
correct.
That was 2005, and I was
Right,
just
right.
reading, Sammy, when you said that, because it also popped in my mind, that interview of Jose Mourinho, and I was just looking through, and it says Perico Alonso won La Liga twice. Now, Perico Alonso is Xabi Alonso's father. He's won it twice in successive
Hmm.
seasons with Real Sociedad. And then after he
Hmm.
joined Barcelona, he's also won it with him. So there is a ton of knowledge, there's a ton of ideas that might be just running through his own blood. Forget coaching and everything. उसके
करेक्ट.
खून में ही फुटबॉल बह रहा है.
अपन को अभी टेस्ट कराना चाहिए कि एरिक टेन हैग का जो ब्लड ग्रुप है और शावी अलोंसो का जो ब्लड ग्रुप है वो सेम है कि नहीं. अगर है तो उधर से थोड़ा खून लेके इधर डाल दे भाई.
नहीं नहीं यार, मेरे को आई थिंक देखो, आई एम फियर्सली प्रोटेक्टिव अबाउट एरिक टेन हैग. आई थिंक ही इज जस्ट रॉन्गली ब्लेम्ड, व्हिच ब्रिंग्स मी टुवर्ड्स आवर fourth and final topic, Sammy. The curious case of the
Yes, sir.
injuries that have been happening at Manchester United. Imagine a team that is currently sitting sixth in the Premier League is 7 points away from where we were the last time around. Despite not having a left back for 2/3 of a season, a 19-year-old striker we've just bought, despite not having your best centre back, having 11 different centre back partnerships over the last season all along. How
Correct.
do you expect this
Correct.
team to perform? And do you not feel that Erik Ten Hag should be given a chance with a proper structure with that of INEOS that is going to come in?
I agree. I totally agree with you. When Erik Ten Hag came in, right? And again, this is going to be controversial, but let me say this out. In my book, all right, Harry Maguire is a better footballer than Cristiano Ronaldo playing at Manchester United.
Okay.
And you'll ask me, are you out of your mind? What makes you say that? I'll tell you what makes me say that. A test of a footballer as not just a football playing individual but also as a character in the team is tested when you are having bad games one after the other, or you're being dropped, you're not having playtime, the manager is not trusting you, or essentially the manager is trying to push you and tell you, okay, dude, I know you're better, just come out and prove that to me. Okay. Now, why do I say Harry Maguire is better than Cristiano Ronaldo? Remember, when Cristiano Ronaldo was dropped to the bench, he got up and left a match. Yeah. I think in the 80th or 85th minute, if I'm not mistaken. Right? He went out and gave a full-fledged interview
to
where
Piers Morgan,
he's absolutely he's blasted the club and see. At some point, I agree to that, but I don't agree to the method in which it was done, right? And on the other hand, there's a Harry Maguire who's been ridiculed left, right, and center. If you open Twitter, and we've had this discussion on one of our previous episodes,
one of the very first episodes,
gone and Googled. Yeah. Correct. We've gone and Googled Harry Maguire, and the only thing we saw were memes and Harry Maguire videos. You know? Yeah. That guy, he's been stripped of captaincy. Yes, he did try to leave the club. That didn't work out. But the way he's made a comeback and the way he's won Erik Ten Hag over.
And he's just kept his head down. He's just kept his head down. He's not abused the manager.
Just kind of worked.
Yeah.
Nothing. He knows for a fact that if the manager is dropping me, there is something wrong and I need to fix that. I'm sure he's had those conversations with Erik Ten Hag as well. Yeah. Now, coming back to your point of, do I support Erik Ten Hag staying on or not? 100%. I think he should be given 2 more seasons. Yeah. Easy. All right. At least for him to come into his own. Yeah. He should be given the backing which all the previous managers did not have. If you go back in time, Jose Mourinho said that the biggest achievement of my managerial career was to finish second with Manchester United in that season. Yeah. Right. If that is the situation at a club, and a guy has come in who has proven time and again that he can really transform a club, I think he should be given that time. But we kind of need to understand as fans as well, we cannot, in that case, if that is our stand, then in that case we cannot prioritize immediate success. We cannot do that. Yeah. We will lose games. We will have issues. We will go to a Man City and lose 3-1, 4-1, whatever.
But Sammy, you know that game, I'm telling you, that game, just sorry to butt in, I was loving everything about what you said. That game was after very long time. I mean, especially in this season where I am not going to just talk about injuries. Yes, the style of play hasn't also been very attractive on the eye, but I understand why Erik Ten Hag plays that way. He's always come out and said that Manchester United, as going by his vision, he sees Manchester United
Hmm.
as one of the most fastest and the best transition football team. So, but जब
Correct.
मैंने उस दिन वो मैच देखा था, I thought for a bulk of the time till we were
Hmm.
1-1, we were 1-1 till about the 73rd minute. I
Yeah.
think Manchester United was very compact. I mean, everybody tried their best. Brilliant goal by Marcus Rashford for a Manchester derby that really set the tone. But it, at the end of the day, it shows the gulf in the quality of the squad that you have. Matlab,
Class. Yeah.
can you think
Yeah.
of?
Yeah.
I think of when I look at the Manchester City bench, I see players like John Stones, Guardiola. I see players like Jack Grealish. These guys will probably
Hmm.
just walk into any other first team. But look at ours. We do not even have a
Correct.
left back. We are playing a makeshift right back is because हमारे राइट बैक दोनों लेफ्ट बैक इंजर्ड है. हमारे पास एक स्ट्राइकर
Correct.
नहीं है. एक स्ट्राइकर है एंड ही इज सपोज टू लीव इन द समर ट्रांसफर विंडो बिकॉज द मैनेजमेंट डज नॉट वांट टू offer him a contract extension. We do not have,
मार्सेल की बात कर रहा है?
yeah, Anthony Martial. We do
हाँ.
not have a
बट ठीक
right
है, उसको
winger.
जाना भी चाहिए.
We do not have a right
हाँ.
winger.
हाँ.
We,
हाँ.
we we do not have a central defensive midfielder. Casemiro just got back.
है ना अपना राइट विंगर है ना एंथनी.
I will top it off with the creme de la creme. वो कहते हैं ना एकदम फूलों से सजा हुआ. Imagine this. We bought Mason Mount for 55 million. Man was supposed to
Right.
be coming to United free this summer transfer window. Guy played
Right.
2 games for us, was absent throughout the season. He's just come
Right.
back on the training pitch, which is supposedly a very good news. I just got an update on my Man United app stating that Mason Greenwood has finally come back to training. So I'm guessing
Back into training.
he
Yes.
might just be involved with our clash against Liverpool for the FA Cup coming weekend. So this is
Hmm.
how the whole squad has been. You do not have, the only centre back he signed is Lisandro Martinez, and you can clearly see how good Manchester United are when Lisandro Martinez is in the starting lineup. When you take him out, there is
Right.
a huge gap. There is a massive hole that cannot be just taken up. That mantle is not being able to be
Taken
taken
off.
up by anyone else.
Yep.
So
Yep. I
this is what
agree.
I feel.
I
I
agree.
feel the Erik Ten Hag has 1 year left on his contract. I think for sure if INEOS, going by Jim Ratcliffe's interview in which he said that, you know what, it's not just that the managers have been at fault. So I think there is a somewhat of a silver lining in for Erik Ten Hag. I think the board would want to see uh, how the team shapes up with a new structure. Just to put it
Hmm.
into a little bit of context, if you remember Omar Berada, he's not gonna be getting into work by next season. He's gonna be on gardening leave.
Right.
So is gonna be Dan Ashworth if we are able to, sort of get a understanding and get some sort of compliance with Newcastle United. Both are gonna be on gardening leave, so
Hmm.
it's still gonna be John Murtaugh. So any
Right.
changes in
Unfortunately.
what our recruitment, yeah, any changes in what the recruitment might look like, you can only get to see it probably in a couple of seasons in it from today. So Manchester United fans,
From
I
today,
think
yeah.
I think we should be a little more patient. Look at Arteta. Look at Arteta. What he's done with this brilliant Arsenal team. Look at Klopp. I think even the Liverpool team wasn't that great in the first couple of seasons. So there are positive signs, and I'm just
Sort
hopeful
of one
that,
quick
yeah,
question. One quick
yeah,
question. If today,
mm,
as a United fan, I give you the option of choosing between Erik Ten Hag as the manager
mm.
versus a Zidane as a
Eric
manager,
Ten Hag,
Zinedine Zidane as a
Eric Ten
manager.
Hag,
Erik Ten
yeah.
Hag. Okay. Any particular reason?
I think, yeah, surely because I see a lot of signs. See, I'll tell you. I think Zidane as a coach, I think he's more suited to Real Madrid, maybe because I associated Zidane with someone as a legacy player of Madrid too. I'm not so sure about how much he's going to fit into the Manchester mold. I think
No, but
someone
I mean,
who
he gets results.
he does get,
He's
but
definitely
he also
shown us
got the
that,
results
yeah,
with a team that was Real Madrid with Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Gareth Bale. That is not the
yeah,
kind of
true,
squad
true,
we
true.
have here. What I feel we
So you
require
think that if he comes to United, maybe he'll fail?
could fail. A lot of people have failed. Jose Moreno has failed.
Correct.
Uh, yeah. So I mean, that is the
Van Gaal has failed,
Van Hal
guys.
has failed. Yeah, but that is where I feel the bulk of the work that is to be done at the club is to be done at the grassroots level with everyone on board. I'm not so sure about whom are you talking about? Zidane. I feel with Zidane, I think he's
Yeah.
a very sort of volatile, eccentric personalities होती है ना. Eccentric personalities,
Bro,
he probably might not
तू
be
गोल्ड है पता
suiting.
है, तू छोड़ ये सब, मैं बोलो तू इंटरनेट
मुझे
गोल्ड
तो
है।
नाम
तू
याद नहीं
इंटरनेट गोल्ड
रहते.
है, बोलता है कि मुझे बोलता है, हाँ बट वो जो है ना क्या बात कर रहे
किसकी बात कर रहे
रोहित
हो? मुझे नाम
रोहित
ही याद
शर्मा
नहीं रह रहा है.
सिंड्रोम।
मैं सोच रहा हूँ कौन है,
हाँ,
टकली को तो देख रहा हूँ.
रोहित
नाम नहीं आ
शर्मा।
रहा है मुझे. बट
सारे ही टकले
but
होते
I
हैं।
feel he's very eccentric. Zidane, I think he
हम्म,
might not be able to have that amount of patience. But this is I'm surely judging him completely on the basis of how
बाहर
I've
से
seen him at Madrid. In here in Manchester United यार काफी बहुत काम है यार. सही में बहुत काम है.
मुश्किल नहीं,
नामुमकिन
नामुमकिन
है.
नहीं।
Exactly.
Aye, aye. Bro, by the way, I just met Amitabh Bachchan couple of days
Seriously?
back. Huh?
How is he?
I I didn't I didn't show you the
No, you
picture.
haven't shown me the photos.
No,
No.
I'll just send it to you. I just met him,
Okay.
Saif and Karina. By the way,
Wow. I'm a
Saif
big
gave
fan of
me,
Karina,
yeah,
you
Saif
can tell
gave,
you what. I'm a big fan of Karina.
me too, bro.
We share the same birthdays. Yeah,
Really?
dude. She's born on the 21st
That
of
I
September.
oh fuck, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. But you know what?
Hmm.
What Saif told me is that I was anchoring, okay, and he was loitering and he was loitering around, and he comes to me and says, "Hey, you're very good at this. You should do this
Yeah.
professionally."
And then they
And
do
I
it
was like,
professionally only.
I do this. I was like, I do this professionally. He's like, oh, and he turns to me and says, "Oh my god, it was a joke." I
So
was
he's
like,
really.
oh god.
So he has. मतलब मुझे लगता था वो सिर्फ कैरेक्टर्स ही ऐसे प्ले करते हैं जहाँ पे he goes
नहीं,
about
he's real life
doing
में ऐसा
bad
ही है.
jokes, but he's
हाँ,
also bad jokes with.
हाँ, full
Hmm.
on. He does like that's what he's like. Hey, it was a joke. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I think our conversation is gonna continue. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna cut you out of it now
Yes.
because I think now it's gonna get X-rated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if you wanna kind of catch up with us, first and foremost, you should follow this podcast on social media. Right now, we are just on Instagram. It's TDBS, the Dead Ball Specialist abbreviation TDBS Podcast. Please follow us over there, and you can hit me up. Oh, guys, good news! I've just hit my first 10K followers on Instagram. I want to make that 20K as quickly as possible, right? So you need to help me out by hitting the smashing the follow button on my Instagram. It's at the rate RJSammy07. And of course, the man wearing the 12,000 ka t-shirt.
12,000 का है क्या?
मतलब वो
अरे ये पालिका से
हाँ
है.
भाई
1200
अच्छा
का भी नहीं
पालिका
होगा.
से है ये
नहीं, मजाक कर रहा
1200
हूँ,
का
ऐसा
भी
नहीं
नहीं
है.
होगा
But 12,000 भी नहीं है.
हाँ
It's from the Adidas. I think it was cost me
12,000
about 4.5K.
no bro I've seen that t-shirt I picked it up and I've not bought it so I know anyway तेरा Instagram handle बता
It's Waza2188 and it's across all social media channels, including former Twitter and now X as well as Instagram.
Absolutely. And his email ID is also the same at the rate gmail.com. If you want to send
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
mail, please go
Please
ahead
go
and do
ahead.
that. And, we've not been very consistent in terms of putting out content on this channel. We are looking to change that. But at the same time, this is just a request that if you're subscribed and you're not getting content over here, do stick with us. Both of us have a tough life, trust me.
Yeah.
We are still kind of trying to find ways of getting more consistent, and we would love your support in the meantime if you could just stick with us and maybe not unsubscribe, maybe not unfollow. Just stay with us, and we promise you. The promise is that the dead ball specialists, Sammy and Saurav, will always try to get you the best football content that is there under the sun.
Yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching this. Take care, Garnier.